Greetings, friends and strangers alike. Welcome, one and all. I am ForeverTheElf, and welcome back to Character Cartography, a series where we use Minecraft map art to create various icons, logos, and symbols from popular culture, such as movies, TV shows, and video games. For this video, we are going to be delving back into the world of A Song in Ice and Fire, or Game of Thrones, whatever you know it as. We started out with arguably the main characters of the series, House Stark. So now we're going to be moving on to another of the great houses with House Baratheon. Let's get to it. Alright, let us talk about House Baratheon. Getting back on Game of Thrones, the last time we talked about House Stark, where mainly I just sort of fawned over Sean Bean's portrayal of Ned Stark. This one is going to be a bit similar. We are going to fawn over Mark Addy's performance as Bobby B himself, King Robert Baratheon. I think this character is absolutely amazing. Not because he's a good person, absolutely not. The character is, well, he's your classic medieval king, you know. He's not really a smart man. He's not really a good man. He's just a man in medieval times, meaning he owns the world without really having to earn it, you know. Actually, that's not true. Bobby B, he does definitely earn his crown. The whole rebellion, the whole war that led to him being king, the fact that it's even called Robert's Rebellion just tells you everything you need to know about this man. He is an absolute force of personality. And I think Mark Addy brings it out across absolutely brilliantly. I like Mark Addy in the few things I've seen him in. He just looks like he's having so much fun playing the role. He's playing this big, boisterous king who's always shouting about, I want to crack skulls and fuck girls, you know. There's just something just so charismatic about the guy that you can't help but smile every time he's on screen, you know. Moving on to his brother Stannis Baratheon. I also really like this character. I think Stephen Delaney's portrayal of him was absolutely top notch. I really enjoyed Stannis when he's on screen. He's very much the polar opposite to Robert. He's not a charismatic guy. He's not the big boisterous guy who charms everyone into following him into battle, you know. He's not that kind of guy. He's much more cold and calculated and very introverted in that regard. I wouldn't quite say shy, just very restrained, which compared to his brother Bobby is well, that's quite a low bar, isn't it? But I still think that Stannis is absolutely great in the show. There's just something about him that comes off as honest, if you will. And that might be because he's paired up with Davos, who is probably one of the most honest characters in the show. He's being a lowborn lifted up to lord. He doesn't quite understand the subtleties of politics, and he just says it how it is to these high lords, and that really rankles him. But I like that Stannis doesn't get insulted by the honesty. He very much appreciates it and takes it on board. So I like that about his character. Yes, he's highborn. Yes, he believes himself to be the true king, but he doesn't have as much as the ego that comes with that. He's still very much willing to listen to reason for the most part. Now, he is very set in his ways in some regards. He believes he has to do his duty at all cost, even at own personal cost, especially at own personal cost, as we see later in the series. So I was kind of annoyed with how the character ended in the show. I mean, I said last time that I'd rather not talk negatively about the show. I'd rather remember the show positively for what it did right. While it might not have done Stannis' end right, I think during his time on the show, I thought he was absolutely great. Next up is Renly Baratheon, and I don't have as much to say about this guy just because he really doesn't do as much compared to the other two. Yes, he's in the show for a lot longer than Robert Baratheon, but he doesn't leave nearly as much of an impression. Although I suppose that's the point, isn't it? Robert Baratheon is he's just so much that he's all you're going to remember. You know, he was only in the show for, I think, what, 6, 7, 8 episodes? I honestly don't know how long Robert Baratheon was in the first season. He didn't make it the whole season, and yet he still left such a lasting impression that there are still memes about him to this day. Whereas Renly, not so much. I did like the show's portrayal of him. I thought Gethin Anthony, is that how you pronounce his name? Gethin? I don't know. This is literally the first time I've said the actor's name out loud. I thought he did a great job with him. I thought the writing was a little silly in that they really sort of hammered home the fact that he's gay. They didn't need to make him like someone who shrieks at the sight of blood kind of guy. Like, I thought they could have portrayed his sexuality a little more subtly. No, subtly. That's the word I'm looking for. But other than that, I thought the character did great. He had that air of swagger and confidence about him, which very much matches the book. So I thought overall his portrayal was good. I don't remember him as fondly as the other two, but that's just, I think that's meant to be so, you know. But alright, that is enough of me talking about the Baratheon bros. This has been a bit of a shorter video, so not as much time to talk about it. I'm sure the next one will be much longer. Alright, so that's it. That's enough of me talking about the Baratheon bros, and I will see you in the outro. Alright, so there we have it. Another relatively simple design. It's another just flat one. I am actually a little sad that the yellow wool down there, the yellow carpet, doesn't come out the same colour on a map. It has kind of like a slight green tint to it, which I'm not overall happy about. I could have used the gold you see there where the crown is for a different colour, but I don't have nearly enough gold pressure plates to make that work, because this is the most of a single colour I've used in all of the map art so far with the yellow carpet. There was so much yellow carpet. If you're curious about the numbers I used, I'll put them up on screen like I always do. So as always, if you want me to make map art of something in particular, feel free to put it down in the comments. I have tons of ideas myself, tons of ones I'm excited to get on with. But if you've got any ideas, well, comment away. So that's it for this episode of Character Cartography. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to like the video and subscribe for more content. If you wish to check me out elsewhere, I also stream over on Twitch 4 days a week. You can also follow me on Twitter for various updates about streams and videos and the occasional tweet I put out about my personal life. And lastly, please feel free to join the Woodland Realm Discord server. All links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.